What's going on, guys? It's Becca Switzer with Roof Sales Mastery, and I am glowing like an angel over here. Don't know what to do about this. It's just bright. What can you do? But I have been working like a slave, putting together this recruiting program here over the past few weeks, and people are just killing it with this thing. It's been amazing. And so I did want to just kind of talk about recruiting in this industry because we're recruiting for sales, obviously. And in case you haven't noticed, in most circumstances, it's like kind of hard to hire for sales positions, right? And to train for them. So I kind of wanted to just chat a little bit about like the basis behind it, why things work or don't work when you're recruiting. So first of all, let's say that we're advertising for salespeople. You put out an ad on Craigslist or you spend a bunch of money on monster.com and you maybe get like 1 to 5 applicants a month, maybe a little bit better, usually not. Well, this is a pretty slow and painstaking way to go through applications, but when you get 1 to 5 people apply, that's pretty slim pickings, right? Like you don't really have the luxury of being choosy when you get that many people. So the problem here is you have nobody to choose from. Why? Why is nobody applying for my job, you wonder? Well, because people are afraid of sales positions, okay? If you're advertising directly to that one person who's comfortable with straight up commission only, they're comfortable with being 1099, they're just bona fide salespeople, like they've done sales their whole lives, you're pretty much advertising to an audience like this small. Most people are not comfortable with that, okay? Most people are looking for a job, all right? So your ego might be saying, well, but I don't want small-minded people. I want that bona fide sales shark. Okay, that's fine, but you're not going to find those people. And if you're trying to build a sales team with that model, 1 by 1 is what you're going to be doing, and you might find one person a year like that. So what is the key here? We're offering the same sales position, but we position it, we present the position in a way that sounds like a regular job, okay? So when regular people, your average Joe who has gone through the regular, the timeline of life that most people go through, which is go to high school, get your diploma, go immediately to college for 4 years with a major that you change halfway through and then waste another 30 grand changing your major, graduate, high five yourself because you have a degree now and a fancy piece of paper that's very expensive. Go on to do a job that has nothing to do with your degree, make maybe 50 grand a year if you're lucky, retire when you're 65, hate your life, and have no money. That sounds terrible, right? You and I know it's ridiculous. So why wouldn't somebody want an opportunity where they could make 6 figures in less than a year and literally live the life of their dreams? They can have financial and time flexibility, freedom. It's insane. Here's the problem. People hear that, and what they hear is, that's too good to be true, okay? Or they think, okay, this guy might be able to do that, but I certainly wouldn't be the right person. I'm just not a salesperson. So they automatically disqualify themselves. They hear risk, lack of security, lack of stability. They don't hear opportunity. So when we present the job, which is, I guarantee you what most of you guys are doing, and you're like, why don't these people want this job? It's awesome. But when we present it as a sick opportunity, they don't want it. They want a job. So we get back to positioning. We position the sales job as a regular job. This has to do with how you word the ad. This is crucial. It has to do with how you interview, because once you have people who have applied, the interview process is where you're going to keep or lose people. And then it has to do with how you train them, okay? I said this the other day on a call, and so I'm going to use the example again. But recruiting and training for a sales position is a very delicate process. Consider it like chemistry, okay? And I know I'm constantly using baking examples because I'm addicted to sugar, but this is such a great analogy to use. It's basically like baking, all right? Baking is chemistry. Like if you use a tablespoon of baking soda instead of a teaspoon, your cake is going to be fucked up, all right? And it's such a small mistake. But that small mistake can be parallel to you misword the ad. The ad isn't worded perfectly. The interview, just one thing you said turned everybody off and they got up and left or they never showed up. So it's very delicate, this process. Good news for you, you don't have to figure out this delicate chemical process, okay, that has to go into how to word an ad or an interview because we've already built the damn thing. But we have it so that people are excited about this job with unusual perks and benefits instead of the sick opportunity that sounds really risky. Does that make sense? So the next thing is you, okay? We want to protect your time. So let me explain kind of how the ad works that we have. We've written the ad that is very, very specifically worded to attract quality and quantity people for the sales position. So where before you were maybe getting 1 to 5 people trickle in on your really sketchy Craigslist ad, now you've got anywhere from 20 to 100 applicants in the first week. Okay, that's what people are experiencing. 70, 75, 88, 100, like these are the numbers we're getting back from our clients who are using the recruiting machine. Now you've got this huge batch of potential clients or applicants. Sorry, I've been talking all day. Brain, a little bit low on power today. But now you have this huge batch of people that you can choose from. Have you ever had the luxury of being picky to hire salespeople? I'm doubting it. But this is going to give you a big pool of people to choose from. So let's just say that in the past, you'd get 3 applications this week for your sales job. What would you do to interview those people? I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you'd probably call those 3 people and reserve an hour of your time for each of those 3 people, so 3 hours throughout the week, to meet each of them individually at like a Starbucks or at your office to talk about the position. One guy would show up and he has like broken legs and is like 450 pounds and doesn't speak English, not gonna work. Second person doesn't show up at all. And then the third person shows up and he seems super sharp. You're excited about him. He seems excited about the job. You hire him. You're like, yeah, Tim rocks. And then Tim doesn't show up to training or he quits like a week later. Sound familiar? You've put all of your eggs in that one basket for each of those hours, wasted 3 hours and none of them worked out. And you rinse and you repeat over and over and over. It's insanity. Stop doing it. So instead, here's how this is going to work for you. You put out the ad. You get 20 to 100 applications the first week. You set up, let's say that you get 50 applications and you call and you schedule 30 of those people for an interview. Right now you're thinking, holy shit, how am I going to interview 30 people this week? That would be a full-time job. Beck, I'm not going to do that. No, you're not. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to schedule, let's say, 3 group interviews, which sounds really weird, but I promise it's not. We have the whole thing structured so that you know how to do it, so it's not weird at all. Now you say you schedule those 30 people, 10 people per group. Same 3 hours that you would have spent relying on 3 people to show up or not. Let's get crazy. Let's say that half of those people don't show up for some reason, which, by the way, people are having like an 80 or a 90% show to their interviews, so that probably wouldn't happen. But let's just say worst case scenario. Half of them don't show up. You still have 15 people to interview in those 3 hours. Let's say that 12 of them are great, you hire them, 10 of them show up for training, and you launch 5. Now you've got 5 terrific, solid people in 1 to 2 weeks. Interviewed, hired, trained, ready to rock and roll. Those same 5 people probably would have taken you all year to find previously, and it only took you a few hours. So that's pretty much how it works, okay? I know that obviously this is a brief overview, and you're like, there's so many questions that I have. But all in all, it comes down to having a good recruiting strategy, including the right ad, which we have already written. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. We have it word for word. It will work for you. It works. Then you have the interview script. Okay, so the interview script is very important. Okay, like I said, the whole chemistry thing, everything, you say things a certain way in a certain order. You don't say too much. You say everything that needs to be said and nothing more. And at the end of that interview, people are like sweaty palm. They're wanting that job so bad. It's quite hilarious, actually. You're going to love it. Now, the next thing is you have to have a way to train those people. Because what good is a recruiting system that is badass if you have no way to train these people? So if you've got 10 or 15 people showing up for training, you damn well better have a good, efficient way to train them so that you retain them and they can get sales. That's where the new hires training comes in, okay? So the new hires training program, you've probably seen a video of it. If you haven't, just YouTube Roof Sales Mastery new hires training program. There's cakes in the picture, you'll see it. Like I said, sugar, I don't know. But you're basically going to funnel all those people into the training program that is designed to train people in bulk. So you're not doing these stupid ride-along trainings, taking somebody by the hand one by one for 6 weeks, showing them everything, which is inefficient and doesn't work anyway. It's ridiculous. And then they quit and you've wasted 6 weeks of your time on one person if you have to do it again. No more. No other companies train like that in any industry. Like, it's insane that people do it, but they do. So the new hires training is going to give you a mini seminar to run at your office. This group of people will all get trained at the same time with everything they need to be perfectly trained up in 3 to 5 days, leave your office and begin generating leads and closing deals from the get-go. Check the reviews. It's crazy. So you guys, all in all, you have to have both. It's like having a training program that's really good, but not having a way to recruit people is like having a great car that works, but with no gas in the tank. So the recruiting program is like the gasoline, okay? It fuels your car. So if you have a good way to recruit, but you don't have a way to train, you're wasting your time. And if you have a great program to train people, but you don't have anybody to train, that's not going to work either. You have to have both. So that's what the recruiting machine and the new hires training program do together to help you build a team quickly and efficiently in a quality manner, okay? So anywho, I think those were the points that I was going to talk about today. Pretty sure anyways. Like I said, I talk all day long, so my brain, it runs out of battery at the end of the day. I don't know. I get a little loopy. And this sun in here, I've got radiation probably. Okay, anyways, I'm done babbling, but that's what I wanted to chat about, was just to kind of bring some light and some clarity to kind of how the programs work together and give you a little more information, stuff like that. So, as always, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, obviously, if you haven't already. Visit www.roofsalesmastery.com. You can click on the recruiting machine. You can click on the new hires and check that stuff out. Follow us on Facebook, Roof Sales Mastery, and reach out and email me, guys. I mean, proof is in the pudding. People in these programs are absolutely crushing it. I would love to have you join. So feel free to email me at Becca, BECCA, at roofsalesmastery.com, and we'd love to have you. So, all right, we will talk to you guys later. See ya.